Hi, I'm Steve Elliott from the Professionals in Whangarei, and we thought we'd put together this quick little video to show you how to sign an agreement for sale and purchase of real estate. The reason we're doing this is that it's easy for us to assume that everyone knows what a contract to purchase real estate looks like, but in fact we come across a number of first home buyers who've never seen one before, and other people who only buy and sell real estate very occasionally and aren't familiar with the new terms and conditions in these contracts. But even if you're a first home buyer, or you occasionally buy and sell, or you regularly buy and sell real estate, we encourage everybody very strongly to talk to their solicitor first before they sign these contracts. So to get into it, this is the front page of a contract. We ask the purchasers to ensure that their name's correct, that the property address is correct, and the purchase price, this one is obviously blank, is correct. And then on the front page here there's some conditions. There's finance, there's a limb, there's a builder's report, etc. Now if you're happy with all of that, then we ask you to sign down the bottom like so. However, on this contract there may be something you may wish to change. Your solicitor may say, for example, you've put no for a limb, and the solicitor says no, I want you to put yes. So you put yes and then you initial the change. And so that's the first page done. Then following the first page are general terms of sale, and there is a number of these, and they cover such things as deposit, possession and settlement, vendor default, new title provisions, residential land holding tax, resident assurance, etc, etc, etc. Now you don't need to sign at the bottom of all these general conditions. The exception is if there is a change or a deletion to them, then you must do that. So in this case, there have been some changes to the title and requisitions clauses, so they must be initialed. Going through, this particular property is not a unit title, so the unit title and cross-lease provisions have been crossed out, so that must be initialed as well. And again on this page. And so the general terms and conditions continue. I'm flipping through this quickly, but you should familiarise yourselves with them, and so you should take the time to do so. Further terms of sale. There are further terms of sales with this. We'll get that into that in a minute. This is the GST schedule. Now this normally doesn't affect anyone who's buying and selling residential real estate. There are some exceptions, and they are if the vendor is registered for GST and so is the purchaser. Then the contract becomes, on the front page, rather than inclusive of GST, it becomes plus GST. It's really important, if you're uncertain about GST, that you take legal or accounting advice, because we are not legal or accounting specialists in regard to tax. Initial down the bottom of this page. This is the signing page. Now in this case we're selling sections, so there are no chattels, there are no residential tenancies or commercial tenancies. You're the purchaser, so we need a full signature here. And once you've done this, this goes to the vendor for his signature, provided they're comfortable with the contract. This page here just contains the details of the vendor, purchaser and their solicitors, and that doesn't need initialing. Now this contract is reasonably complex, and there are a number of further terms of sale. Generally there would only be a couple. Due diligence is one of them, maybe subject to a house sale. Whatever, each one of these must be signed or initialed. So every clause initialed. That's all done. So this is an unusually complex one, but at least it'll give you the overview. Now, in terms of buying a property in New Zealand, you can buy as of right, i.e. you don't need consent, if you're a citizen of New Zealand, Australia, or a Singaporean citizen, if you have a New Zealand, Australian or Singaporean permanent residence visa and live in New Zealand, you have a New Zealand resident visa and live in New Zealand. If those aren't applied, then you must apply for consent, and you can't buy a home and live in one for a variety of reasons here. You can do it, but you've got to go through an OIA process, which is investment office, and that takes quite some time. So here's the Overseas Investment Office here. Everyone must make a statement which is attached to their contract for a sale and purchase, and this is the statement here. So just assume that I've filled this out with the purchaser's name and my solicitor. I then have to tick that I am able to purchase a property, and I have to tick that my lawyer is going to undertake due diligence on me regarding the anti-money laundering laws, and he's going to have to confirm that I am who I am via my passport and other documents like that. You sign that, you date it, and you write your name. And then finally, there's a consent by purchaser prior to entering into a contract, and we have to disclose that we have got no personal relationship with the vendor. It's strictly a business relationship. If it's a multi-offer, we have to run through the multi-offer process with you and get you to sign a multi-offer form. And then additionally here, we've asked you to acknowledge that you've received the information memorandum, which contains some details regarding this particular subdivision. So you look at that, you're comfortable with that. I sign it, I date it, and it's 2:30 p.m. It's signed by the agent, and that's it. So I hope you enjoyed that and found it useful, and good luck with your property purchases.